Merry Christmas. I am an idiot. Right. I was just explaining how the hat's not going to stay on. Right. Cool. How is everyone? Are you having an amazing time like the rest of us? I've magnetized my microphone to my seeing thing so that I can see what I'm doing, because no matter what glasses I wear, seeing this art over here is really difficult. Let's go on to the main one. There we go. Oh, I want to show you some new stuff in the pinball machine first. Okay, enough cable. So down there at that end, I've got something I can point with. Oh, this will do. Sorry for the shaky cam. This bit is the electrical isolation box. So there's a hole in the corner there. The 6-way power strip lives in the top up here behind the back glass screen. So the cable will come up here and go through there. But I needed to, in case because people will be, if somebody buys this at some point in the future, the volume control is going to be inside the cabinet here. So I needed a way to make sure that nobody touched the other side of the live wires where the kettle lead plugs in. So that's new. I did that the other day, and I used my my new toy. Actually, let's go back to the other camera. Oops, sorry. I used my new toy. This is an early Christmas present to myself. Why does that keep changing that screen? Let's do that. Get rid of that. There we go. I got one of these. Seeing things. Yes, this is a seeing thing. Rob, it's technical. You wouldn't understand. This is the cheapest and nastiest nail gun you can buy on Amazon. It cost me £28, something like that. No, I am nervous, Byron, using this one. I've got 2 nail guns up here. I'll get the small one down. Oh, sorry. You've probably seen me use this one plenty on the episodes. And this one, when you press it against something, it's not got a battery in it, so it's not going to go off. When you push this part here, that depresses, and that will only let you fire something if that is pushed in. So it's a nice safety feature. It hasn't got any other safety apart from that, and you can switch it to like auto fire mode, full auto, so that when you just push it down it goes off, but you can't fire it a nail into empty air. Let's put that one back. This one, however, has a traditional like gun safety catch under here. I'll go on to the other camera so you can see it a bit clearer on this one. So I'm on a delay here as well, so only a slight one. But yeah, there's a small little lever here, and it's not very stable, and that will stop the trigger pulling. Do you want to see it fire? Oh, let's fire something. I've actually charged my compressor, so I've got air. Let's get rid of that. Right, safety on. Hey, Lewis. I'm still going to go off. Right, this is now live. Let's turn this one around. And bring you a little bit closer. Okay, let's what was I using this for? I was using that for something. So it fires the thinnest, smallest. Probably better if I use this, because then you'll be able to see. But if you can see now, I mean, I'll fire into this middle bit here where there's no other marks. Oh, safety. Right, and that's the size of hole that it leaves. It's tiny. Pin nails, but you can. Merry Christmas! It's great. Well, that's not coming off of there. Actually, I was using that. That will come off. Right, safety on. I have to keep remembering to put the safety on and take it off of the air. But it's great fun. But I used that to make the new part at the back. It's really good for pinning pieces of plywood together. That's where it really shines. Right, we need to be over there somewhere. We'll sort that out in a minute. So what else do we want to talk about? I need that. Oh no, I don't need that because I've changed my method. So I was painting yesterday when I did the blue. Yesterday and the day before when I did the blue and the sorry, I mean these catch up on chat. Famous last words. An unsafe safety, absolutely. This so let's go. Yeah, I can fire this in the air. This one, I haven't been brave enough yet, Rob, to actually shoot it at something at a distant target. But yeah, as I think it's Byron pointed out, I got Doom and Quake muddled up, the nail guns from Quake. So yeah, I was painting yesterday and I was using yogurt pots. There's white in that one. That's where I did a repair. And because this is free. But I went shopping today and I picked up some of these little pots with sealable lids because my white's dried out. But the black I had a little test with today hasn't. So that's an upgrade. Something else. Oh, that's missing. Where is it? Oh, there it is. One moment, please. Another small upgrade was when I was using it, it only had one fan in the base. It didn't have the fan in the top back box, back door yet. But the one fan in the base was really, really loud. So loud that I actually plugged it into the 5-volt supply instead of the 12 just to keep it down. Sounding valve on I can't do a very good Scottish accent. Sorry, Lewis. I'm not going to do Big Clive. I'm definitely not doing Big Clive. Although, no, actually, he's a really nice, hairy man. I could be tempted. So yeah, the fan was so noisy. I decided to try an Arctic. I bought this off of Amazon a while ago. I haven't plugged it in yet, but it's got a proper fan header on it, unlike the other ones which were ripped out of an old HP server. This one should plug into the motherboard. Should have enough cable on it to reach the motherboard in the base and be quiet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the back one yet. If this one impresses me enough, I'll just buy another one of these because they're only like £4, something like that. And I'll put that in the back door. Doors. I need to show you now. Oh, I didn't want to click that. There we go. I made a door. It's got some marks on it now. Oh no, it isn't. That's picked off. Let's go to this one. I made a door, and it's. Did I swap that over right? No, I didn't. Let's do that one. Why is that not swapped? Let me just hit OBS for a second. Yeah, it has swapped. Okay, so I made a back door. It's got a lock, a key lock. And that all went well. That'll be in the next video. But I've been testing some paint on this one. So I might actually repaint. See, I like this sort of thing. I've kept from other videos. Oh, look over there on the wall. You can see, not other videos, from other builds. That was from the Beatencade build, where I made a control panel with too many buttons in it. So it's got 8 buttons per player, and I didn't have enough buttons, and it was a ultra budget build. So I made a new control panel, but I used that control panel to test some paints on, to test whether acrylic paint would run under certain conditions, and that was really handy. But I don't like throwing things like that away. I've still got up on the wall from the very first arcade machine I built. Up there is and that mothership. One day I'm going to do something with that. I'm going to backlight it to make it like a lighting feature, like backlight green, and then paint it green. And yeah, so the mothership was going to be like the marquee for my very first arcade machine years ago. I know Noctua. I do have. I've got Noctua, the really big CPU fan in my CPU cooler in my PC. It's the best thing. And I've also got a couple of tiny Noctua 40mm fans to go on top of my Vive to keep my head cool. And I do like Noctua, but they're really expensive, so I was just being a cheapskate. It's going to be something that I don't keep, so there we go. Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. One other thing that I bought. So the buttons. I have to keep making. Yeah. So the buttons that I bought, that I had, these were left over from. These are Terry's, from Terrycade. I had a couple of those, and I stripped out the buttons from my arcade control panel, which is hanging on the wall over there, without any buttons in it. But these aren't going to go very well in here, are they? Orange and blue isn't too bad, actually. But there isn't any other orange on it, so I was reluctant to do it. So I bought a bag. This is a couple of weeks ago, because it's not been together since I had the since I bought these. I haven't tried them. But I've got 4 white and 4 black in there, plus a whole load of black ones from my control panel. So I've got at least 6 black buttons. Oh, sorry. So I've got a combination. I can have. I made sure I had 4 white ones, so that if I wanted 4 white flipper buttons, I had enough to do all 4 of those. But I'm thinking black flipper buttons, or 1 black and 1 white, and then maybe differentiating the 3 buttons down the front, so that one's white and one's black, and another one's. I could have an orange one. Could do that. Hey Jonathan, how are you? Haha. Right. I think. Let's put Santa out of the way. I think we're almost ready to go. Let's make a little bit of room. Okay. And swap you to the right camera. Is that swapped? Oh, damn delay. I suppose what I could do is put that in a window. There's not a lot of painting in this painting stream. It's coming. It's coming now. Look, the brushes are close. Where's my rag? There it is. We're doing black. Right. Paint. Brushes. I need some kitchen roll. And a stool. I painted around the other side of this workbench. Right, so my first attempt at doing the blue. In fact, right. So the first. I'm still on the wrong camera. Is it that one? No, it's that one. The first attempt at this side. In fact, I think it was the other side I did first, where I set the projector up and then just drew everything on. All the lines just drew over everything. Didn't go so well because the projector kept moving, and this workbench here is not very stable. So it only had this leg. Didn't have a leg on that side. It was a one-legged workbench. So I added another leg. It was also, I perched the whole pinball table on a plastic box. So it was rocking around on the plastic box, and the table was rocking around. Plus I didn't have it anchored against the wall like I had the second time I did it. And every time I touched anything, kicked the projector tripod, everything was just going on to hell. It was a nightmare. Right, let me get you in frame. That didn't work. I've got dual wield, and I can with my Ryobi nail guns now, Jonathan, and I can put my pin nailer in my sock. So I'm thinking James Bond. Right, can we see well enough? Aye. Oh, I can't put that there because that's going to be where the heat gun. So I've got. You see me well? I can't see me on that bit, so I'm sure that'll be fine. I've got my heat gun. This is a great brand. Look at this. Oh, if I get that in the camera, look at that. Who would remember this? Rob, Byron might remember this. This is a Woolworths. I can remember years ago buying this. It's a really good heat gun. So what I did yesterday was I painted all these bits down here, and then I painted some bits up here like an idiot, and then I leant on this bit here and smeared it all across. So there was black paint smeared all across here, and then I repaired it, and you can still see some of the repair that needs a bit more work around here. I wonder if I can bring you a bit lower. Oh, somewhere about there maybe, and closer. Come closer. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so just in here, there's a little bit discoloration on the white there. That bit of blue needs a bit of touching up because some of the white went over it where I repaired it. There's some black on the blue there, and there's some black on the blue here, and some more. And I need to recoat some of the black up on the top of his head. Up here is a little bit grey. It's not quite as impressive close up. It probably looks pretty good on the camera, but yeah, it's I'm happy with it. It's the sort of thing that it's not like the art is the thing. It's the art is part of the thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. So where should we start? Let's start by actually put some seeing. What did I call it? Seeing things. I don't know. I can't remember. Oh. Okay. I'm so used to wearing bifocals that I end up actually looking underneath these. Well, I can tell it's going to actually be tricky to talk while I do this. You need a proper steady hand. I've got better as I've gone along. I'm going to have to move a bit further to my left. Sorry, we're all kind of packed in here. This is the only place I could really see that I could put the camera. Foot stuck. There we go. That's better. So that the camera could see me in both angles. So. Well, one thing I've learned to do is not worry. If I make a mistake, like I've just made a bit of a rough line there, I can either thicken the line a little bit, which isn't completely accurate to the original, or I can fix it later. I did find myself last night it's such a concentration thing, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to live stream this tonight, is that I needed a little bit of distraction, because it's what is that? Where did that come from? And that? What? I must have done those earlier. Oh no. Okay, well, I'm just going to ignore those for now. I'll fix them later. I'll have to refer back to the original image now, because I think that this one here, I think this image continues under that one, and I know that one does. That's me leaning on it again. And there's no need to do that, because I can dry it with the heat gun really quickly. Alright, so I'm struggling a little bit here down low, because I've got nothing to lean on underneath the cabinet. I'm actually bracing myself against the bottom of the cabinet, and this is one of the trickier bits. Probably should have started a little bit higher to make myself look better. And I didn't do that. So it's always better to do the hard thing first, whatever you do. Whatever you do, it's better to do the hard bit first, because it only gets harder. And so I've painted I needed to paint the bottom bit first, really. Oh, see? There we go. Ugh. Sorry if I'm blocking your view. There's gonna be occasions where I just have to do that. Right. And you have to just keep reminding yourself where the wet paint is. Oh, that's terrible. Fix it later. It's going to be a lot of fixing it later. And bad back. I could barely move my neck this morning. And what's worrying about that is that even when I've finished all of this, I've got to do the other side. The whole thing again. Right, that's one bit. Oh! I have to keep getting up to stretch my legs, so I'll check the stream and grab a drink while I do it. That's what she said, Michael Scott. Quotes will go a long way with me. Woolworths. See you, Rob. Eating is obviously more important than watching me do something as idiotic as this. Wow, I can only agree. Right, so let's paint that little bit at the bottom first, and then I'll dry it. I'm getting desperate to put it back together. I was trying to find excuses to do that. And then I decided that to give me a bit more incentive, oh, that's rubbish, to finish, that I should finish it and then put it back together. So I'm going to do one more live stream on this build, and then I will let's get rid of that. I'm going to do one more live stream on this build. I'm going to do a live stream of putting it all back together. Who's that? Ah, Red Phoenix. Hi, how are you? No, you say way too difficult to even try. It's quite a simple image. I know there's some fiddly bits down here that I'm doing now, but it's all quite simple compared to the Batman I did at the start of this year on the bar top. This is simple, but the Batman could hide a multitude of sins because it was more abstract and it was less defined. This has got all very, very defined edges. So I'm gonna have to go back and fix a lot of edges. That's actually got black to go over that, so that doesn't matter. That's got black to go over that, so that doesn't matter. But some of the edges I won't be happy with until I've gone over them a few times. So it's going to take some time. Sorry, this is going to be noisy for a second. Actually, oh, it's not that noisy. So when the paint starts bubbling, I know it's dry. Alright, so that's dry. He hopes. I'm in quite a good position here, actually. Alright, let's try this one. Sometimes you get a perfect line, but it's just inside the pencil line. You have to go at it again, and it's not as good. Well, that was lucky. I finished that stroke just before there's a line going across the bottom I didn't spot. Oh, it's really hard with your arm not supported. Just taking a breath upsets the stroke. Sorry, mate, I'm making old man noises. It's because I am an old man. So, are we getting ourselves nice things for Christmas? My Christmas present was this. We kind of not in my family, but in my wife and I, we agreed to a certain amount to spend on each other, and I've managed to leverage that into I can have a certain amount of money to spend on projects. So it's one of the reasons I was able to spend money on this. I think my Christmas money went on, what was it? The glass, the legs. I spent quite a lot of my Christmas money on the legs. They were over £100 and worth every penny. I keep thinking I'll move my drink closer here, but there's quite a lot of alcohol in it, so it's probably best over there. So I did these. Can you see these little black dots here and here? I did these with a skewer, a barbecue skewer, bamboo skewer earlier. I just soaked the end of the thing, and then just at the end of the point, I sharpened it to a point, and then used that as a brush because sometimes the brush, I can't get it to make a perfect shape, go into the perfect shape all the time. That's what coat that. suppose I could have brought that laptop over there a bit closer, but then I wanted to show some stuff on the workbench, so then I would be able to see the chat. I'm not worried if I leave some pencil marks on here. I can either erase them with an eraser or ignore them, because the whole thing's going to be lacquered and you won't be able to tell the difference. So if I leave a pencil mark here and there, no one's ever going to see it. Some of these pencil marks go onto the blue paint. I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to see them when I was doing it. So when I project the image on here, it has to be quite dark to get good definition. And oh, that's not very good. That'll do. That's corrected. So when I'm drawing, I can't actually see what I've drawn. It's you're almost painting blind. Alright, I'm going to have to block your view here because I need to rest my hand against this to do this bit. Oh, that went well. So this is where I would normally go up, start painting something up here and forget to dry this. So let's dry that and then grab a drink and check the chat. Let me know if the sound of this is too loud and I'll mute the mic every time I do this. So all of these will need a second coat, all of these bits on his chest, but I don't need to worry about that now, and they are a lot easier because you don't have to get right to the line when you're doing the second coat. I've got the wrong glasses on. That's better now. I can see the chat. Satire, hello, how are you? I'm here for the pure filth and innuendo. Wow. You've come to the right place. Byron says. I don't want to upset my stroke. I miss Walrus, Jonathan. I really Commodore blog on Twitter. Sarah, she's excellent Twitter channel. She's really high value if you're an old fart who likes retro. I'm sure you all know her. She's quite big. She showed a Walrus advert a little while ago that had Eric Bristow and Jeff Capes and a few others in, and wow, that was a blast from the past. It really made me miss it. So yeah, you don't have the coordination. My hands are quite shaky as well, but it's all about bracing your hand. Your hand can't shake if it's leant against something. It's not that hard. It really isn't that hard. Old man noises. That's a good one. I make old man noises a lot. You just built a pedestal arcade and did not think about lacquer. We'll look into it. Yes, lacquer. So you need to use something that's going to be compatible with the paint that you're if you've painted it. It's not so important that you lacquer it if it's a solid colour. If you've just painted it and haven't got artwork on it, I wouldn't bother. It's not going to add too much. This is a semi-gloss finish, so it's only going to be similar to the finish on the paint anyway. But this is just because I'm painting with acrylic paint. The acrylic paint isn't... I mean, it's waterproof when dry, but you could lick a thumb and rub it off. But you need to seal it if you... well, actually, what I should do there is... That's the wrong button. Is that the wrong button? Yes, it is. I should show you there. So that's what I'm going to use. But so this is one reason that I kept this from Beatencade, and it's why this is all smeary and yellowed, because I tested different paints. So this side is actually lacquered, and this side I used different varnishes. So this is acrylic paint. The black is acrylic, the white is just white primer, which is exactly what that is. But the black smeared with certain varnishes that mixed with it. So water-based varnishes would mix, and all of them mixed a little bit. Some of them just went yellow and nasty, even though they were meant to be clear varnishes. So yeah, you need to test it on a piece that isn't your arcade cab. Which is another reason I've done this on the door, and I will use that to test that acrylic, this Rust-Oleum protective coat. Quick drying, non-yellowing, durable, clear top coat for an interior and exterior use. Use on wood, metal, ceramics for a lasting professional finish. Pretty sure it's an acrylic clear coat. I did have the other. Oh yeah. Oh, that's the word. Polyurethane. This is the one I used on Beatencade. Can you see that? Polyurethane finish. I should have a light there. So I'm pretty sure the other one is the same, but I will test it before, and I'll probably use 2, maybe 3 cans on the whole thing. I'm still not sure whether I'm going to paint the artwork up the side of the back box. So on the original Silver Ball Mania arcade machine, I don't know if anybody knows about this, but the artwork is taken from a Bally original arcade machine, and the back box on that shape arcade machine, it wasn't a wood rail arcade machine. I didn't really like any of the 1950s artwork that would have matched a wood rail, but it was a more modern arcade machine in the traditional sense of what you'd expect to find now, where the back box is actually slightly wider than the main body, and of course I haven't built that because I matched the screen sizes too well. I probably would do it differently next, and if I did this again, but I still quite like this. So these are, even though there is going to be a line between them, it's not going to be very visible. Do I continue the blue up the side and just ignore it? Because it's not a huge area. I can grab it actually. Let's put it on there. It's all masked up, ready to paint. Put my brush down. Oh, my noises. Oh, it's not going to fit on there. There's something in the way up there. Can I get it on there? Yeah. Oh. There. So when it's blue, you won't see this line here. You'll see you will see a line. Now what I was hoping was that maybe this line would go through there. In fact, look, this is you're helping me. This line here will continue through there. So that will be good, because that's wide enough. That will just, in fact, that might terminate. There might be a point of the star there, which would be cool. Or there is, if you look at the Silver Ball Mania pinball machine, there's some wizardy old dude holding a pinball in the air like this, but it's just not nearly as cool as the image on the side. I'm torn. Do I go with the more authentic artwork on let's face it, a machine that's not exactly authentic? Or do I save myself a butt ton of work, because not only have I got to paint it, I've also got to convert the very low res images from the internet into high res vector art, which would take me a few evenings. Do I save myself all that work and just have that blue with the line going through it? I don't know. I could try it the simple way first, because it's easy just to paint over it. So I saw high gloss enamel. Is it worth adding lacquer to it to protect it from the scratches? No. Nope. It will get scratched in exactly the same way. It's not any harder than the paint that you're painting with. I think that was stuff I used. Pre-cut MDF arcade control panel kit I picked up years ago. Yeah. Cool. Right, drink and then a bit more painting. This is unusual. Because of Crispageddon, and I'm not drinking Coke, Pepsi, specifically Pepsi, but Coke comes under that umbrella, unfortunately. That's Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, which is it's quite delicious, Clive would say. With Coke, it's beautiful. So the only thing I had left in the house that was fizzy that I was allowed to drink was diet lemonade, and the combination of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey and diet lemonade was gopping. It's disgusting. So I bought some 7-Up, but I didn't. It's 7-Up free, so low calorie 7-Up. I didn't spot at the time it's cherry 7-Up. So I'm drinking Tennessee Honey Jack Daniels with cherry 7-Up. Probably that in certain states of America that'd probably get me lynched. Oh, the corners are the hardest. And my hand is it's definitely working at this lower bit. I think. Oh no, we're gonna. Let's go up here in a minute and do some up there. Right, so you get the paint to the line and then pull the brush. Oh, it's not very good. Let's make it look good though. Probably need a bit more water with my paint. Oh, it's just hard. When I did Beatencade, I don't know if you've seen it on the website. Beatencade has Spider-Man and on one side and Batman on the other side, and I enjoyed painting both of them for different reasons and hated both of them for other reasons. But Spider-Man has all of those webs going on, and that is I painted that in one sitting. So that's not perfect. I need to continue that bit. Yeah, that's not perfect, but that's fine. Yeah, I painted it in one sitting and I could barely walk the next day. Wow, that was hard. I'll do this bit and then I'll dry it. Cherry 7-Up. It's quite gassy. I'm going to keep belching and burping. So I was saying to Lewis, and I was saying this genuinely, but he took the piss out of me for saying it, in the Discord chat, that when you look at images of Silverball Mania on the internet, very few of them are perfect because it's a stencil paint, and when you see people that have restored them, they don't quite match. The stencils don't line up. There are gaps, and it's intentional. It's meant to be, the original was like that. but I haven't painted any of the gaps in. I've left one in. Oh, I'm on the wrong camera. Oh, I can't see. There we go. I've left one in up here on the ear. Tiny little gap in there. That was a very deliberate one. And actually, there's one there as well. But then I might change those and fill them in later. Honestly, plain blue would work. Yeah, I tell you, this blue that I'm using. Let's change the cameras back. This, where's the can? Down here. Excuse me, arse. Alright, this is, I went and bought the only blue that was even close to the original art was this one from Home Base or B&Q. And on the label, it's not too bad, but it's a little dark. So I thought, it's fine, I'll just lighten it with some white paint. Be alright. And when I painted it, it came out this colour. Yeah, you can see where I've changed the colours. I've done tests. There's some more wood over there with more tests on. And that's not the colour that's on the tin. So I ended up mixing it with, and that tin over there is satin wood. So it's a water-based paint, but it's meant for painting woodwork. Royal Crown salted caramel whiskey. I like salted caramel. So yeah, I mixed it with some of this. Just Dulux emulsion. That is Blue Babe, and it's like a sky blue. And that I thought was, in fact, that was the original paint that I was going to use, but it's way too light, and it wouldn't give you any definition on these lines. So anyway, when I mixed it, actually, if I hold up this one, oh, I've got to get that button right. With this one, because I know that the colours aren't going to look hugely different. It's just a little bit lighter than the original, but I think it looks really nice. I really like it. There's a load of it all over my bench where I spilled it yesterday, so I'm going to have to get used to it. Okay, could you sketch what it would look like for comparative purposes? I like the idea of continuing the line. Yes, I will do at some point. I could do a little mock-up. That's a good idea. I like that idea. Thank you, Jonathan. Drink. Cheers. 10 people watching me paint. Are you insane? Cool. So what did I say? I need to finish that bit there and then dry it. So if you can see, let's bring you a little bit closer. I don't want to get you too close because I don't want you to see me making too many errors. This bit of black in here, the blue hasn't gone all the way down to the side, so what I'm going to do is just actually widen the black. Rather than, there's some scabby paint on there, I've let it go a bit dry. Rather than try and bring the blue to the black, I'll just take the black to the blue. Actually, that reminds me, there's a bit over here on this side. So the actual original image cut off here, and I just continued these lines down a little bit, which, you know, I kind of followed the curve over here. I need to bring you around here a little bit so you can see it. So yeah, this curve, I just kind of followed it around here, but if you come out a little bit, that doesn't really make a lot of sense anatomically because it looks like he just ends here. There's nothing else below here. I Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some alien appendage hanging, just dangling down there like this. But so what I need to do here is actually just bring that black line straighter down and bring the white line straighter down. But I'm not going to do that now. That's a repair job that I'll do at another point. Oh, let's get you back in position. BigClive.com. What a YouTube channel that is. Oh, what's going on there? I think one of my legs is... Oh, yes. There we go. That's better. Dry. Looking good. I like it. I like it. I need some water in here. There's my black paint brush pot. That one. Actually, I shouldn't really leave that one out. Let's put a drop of that in there. Put a little bit of that in it. I used to be an electrician, but I also used to be before and after being an electrician. I was a painter and decorator, and I was working on a site. I was working in Lloyd's Bank in Harlow. Is Craig here? And I was a carpenter there, and he was Scottish. And he's whatever you asked him, he would say, "Put a bit of wood in it." And I've always remembered that. It stayed with me forever. Put a bit of wood in it. Lovely guy he was. Lovely guy. I'm actually looking forward to next year. Well, for many reasons, I'm looking forward to summer next year. For many reasons, not least of which being able to get out in the garden and make stuff. But I'm looking forward to getting some more lolly sticks because they're so useful. Right, what are we painting now? Let's do it up there. Oh look, you're going to see every gory detail on this one. I'm not painting the hard bit first. Let's paint the hard bit first. So I might have to stand up for this one because I need to put my hand around this side so I can pull it down this way. I can't paint that line with the brush at this angle. The brush has to be at this angle to push the bead along that edge. If you try and do that, this is where actually where my old painting and decorating knowledge comes in a little bit handy, because I'm not an artist, but I know how to move paint around on a surface. I say not an artist. I can draw. But I tell you what, it's so much easier drawing on a graphics tablet with an undo button. It changes the game. There we go. Didn't paint the hard bit first. Ah, damn it. That'll need to be repaired. Actually, no one. Let's draw that like that. A bit more. No one will ever know. Don't tell anyone. Right, I have to go over the camera now. Get the lens in the right place. I tell you what, it's a good job that the microphone is not on the camera, because I'm talking like a husky voice, like I'm talking into your ear. It's quite inappropriate. I've struggled with these lines underneath. The ones on top I can get a little bit smoother, but the ones underneath are all going to be scabby and not the best. But it's fine. It's not. I'm not a photocopier. This is my impression of Silver Ball Mania. Cool. That's good. So do I start? Yeah, I start here. Work up. That's what I should do. Now, can you see? Just rotate you a little bit. And let's paint the difficult bit first. So a little splodge of paint on there just to shape the brush into a point. Oh, shaky hand. What I need is a brace. Put it over there. Oh. Just something to put my elbow. That's better. Let's come further down into this blue because there's pencil mark in the blue. Oh, it's not the best. That's fine. Fix it later. Don't try and paint an edge with a brush that's too loaded as well, because you can't control a thick bead of paint. You can only spread it out, and if you try and spread it out when you're already next to a line, you'll go over the line. So I'm actually pushing it a little bit there actually. It's that, or you leave a big thick brush stroke and hope it doesn't run. So yeah, when I drew all these lines, it was pitch black in here. I could not see. I could only see the line from the light of the projector. So, but the lines were all on lines, so this would be on a black edge. And if I put my hand over it to block the projector light and give a shadow, there's not enough light to see. In the end, I actually had my phone. Well, that's bad. My phone light torch on the workbench next to me, because I was getting quite frustrated. That's good. I didn't do the bottom bit first. It's not so bad on this one because I can keep the brush fairly parallel to the line here. I think this is a line I repaired. Yeah, this is where I smeared all the black. The palm of my hand. I was in a right state yesterday, covered in paint. Alright, let's go up the other end and come back down towards this one. Oh, that board under my elbow just shifted just as I lifted the brush. That's good. That's a better line. I'll hold on to that this time. Yeah, I'm going to struggle at this angle. Ooh. Something else I'm struggling with is this headband is not very comfortable. Whew, it's getting warm. It's getting warm, or the whiskey is working. Oh,
This is concentration. Oh, right at the end there I messed it up. It's good enough. Stretch the back. Let's have a look at the chat. Oh, the joy of painting. Hi. It is a cool hobby. Making arcade machines. I'm fully invested in it now. We are quite literally watching paint dry. You're going to watch it again in a sec. You are the Bob Ross's pinball cabs. I can't do a Bob Ross impression because I haven't watched enough. I am aware of the meme and the legend of the man. Compared to you, nothing anatomically accurate about that midriff. I modelled it on myself. I have got a six-pack inside somewhere. I had a six-pack once. I've got one of those visor things, exactly the same one, and they are not comfortable. No, it's just a ring of plastic pain. Works though, and this one has on this lens, don't know if it's going to show up on the camera, a big old scratch on it going across there somewhere, but when you're looking through it you can't see it. You literally can't see it. I picked it up thinking, oh no, I ruined them. I have got all the other lenses that come with it. It comes with a load, as you know, Byron, loads of lenses, but yeah, it didn't affect it at all. Cool. How are we doing? Oh, it's looking good. Are we in the right camera? Yeah. That is looking good. So we've got some big areas of black to paint in here. All up there. All of this is black. How much can you see? And let's bring you back a little bit so you can see an overview. All of that is black. Up to there. I think. Hang on a sec. Yeah, that's black. Into there. That's white. Into there. This is black. All along here and here. And this is all black in here. And then the bit that I'm really looking forward to, because I think that's going to have the same impact as the face. I was keen to do the face. I didn't start on the face because I wanted to make sure that my I got my painting chops back before I started something as, and I still messed up bits of the face. It still needs repairing, but I wanted to make it so I didn't have to repair too much. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the bulb because I think that's going to have the same impact as the face. Right, where are we going? Going down here. Right, let's get a move on. Let's get some paint on there. I've done some fiddly bits. Let's dry this off so I don't mess it up again. And I don't think I'm going to need that. Oh, I will need that in a sec. Right. It's nice drying it this way. This is an Adam Savage sheet. He uses a hairdryer. It's probably more sensible to use a hairdryer because I could damage the surface with this, but it's only on low. It's probably about as powerful as a hairdryer now after all these years. But you can see the paint changing colour, or I can see the paint changing colour as I dry it. Cool. And I need some water. And a stirry stick. Oh, so I was going to show you when I mixed up the paint. My fear of mixing paint is running out. If you run out of paint when you've mixed your paint to find the colour,
you'll never get that same colour again, because paint changes colour as it dries. So once it's dry, you've got no way of matching, you've got nothing to match it to. And so yeah, that's my fear. I mean, you could get around it. It wouldn't be a problem if the one side was slightly different colour to the other. But it's that one. I mixed up a, I don't know, what is that? A jug of paint, and it's full up to there. And I used about a centimetre of that paint, painting the back and all of this side. I think I'll have enough paint. That's 2 coats as well. All of the side and the blue has been 2 coated, so I've got enough paint. But the worrying thing to start with was when the paint had been sat in the pot for a little while, it started to separate, which was of concern. But it's dried on really nicely, and it's actually quite a nice finish. It's not quite a satin wood finish. It has that roughness to it, but there's a slight sheen to it. But it's, like I say, it's got a roughness to it. I've left the back box on. But once it has a coat of polyurethane or lacquer of some sort, some description, it's all going to look the same. And hang on 1 second. And I am going to coat the sides and the wood at the same time. The oak, it looks nice already. I'm really pleased with the oak, but it will pop when it's got a coat of something on it. The grain will be really visible. And the lovely thing in this oak, I was really lucky, is it has some features. In the grain is a nice pleasing shape and flow, and I've managed to match up all that side trim. Almost every single piece of that side trim matches the adjacent piece of oak that it attaches to. Oh, that was hard. But there's also figures, what's called figures in the wood. You get this in things like maple, figured maple. You don't see it very much in oak, but the lump of oak that I bought randomly, this is meant to be a table I was going to make for my wife, but I was scared of making something out of oak. So I made her, she wanted a small table just to put her coffee on when she sat in her nice chair in the front room. Just a little table. She didn't have anywhere to put her coffee. She had a windowsill next to her, but it was too high. She wanted a little tiny table next to her to put her coffee on. So me and the lovely husband went and bought a really nice piece of white oak. It's quite expensive for a piece of wood. It's an inch thick. And I was all proud of myself when I bought it. Took it home, put it in the garage for a couple of months because every time I looked at it I thought, I have no idea how to make that into a table, and every time I tried to make a plan to turn it into a table, I never had quite enough wood. And so I was always faced with the problem of having to either go and buy some more wood or make a different size table, or which was nothing ever seemed to sit right with me, so I never made it. And in the end I took apart salvaged the wood from an old pine bookcase and made her a table out of that, which she loves. So I had this really nice piece of oak sat in the garage, which was Providence. It was a really nice, happy coincidence when I decided to make my pinball table, which was originally going to have a painted lockdown bar, painted to make it look like metal. A wooden lockdown bar with like some sort of metal spray. But I was never happy with that choice. And then I thought, oh, hang on a minute, that piece of oak over there, that's nice and thick, and that could make a nice knockdown bar, and that was the best decision on this whole thing. It's warm. It's so nice to put your hands on. Absolutely gorgeous. I do need to reinforce it a little bit more now, because I'm worried it has the piece of wood that it's is attached to, is a piece of MDF. So that's not very strong to start with. But I mean, that would be fine if it was attached really well to the rest of the cab. This is one of the little niggly jobs that I'm going to have to do at some point. It's that piece of MDF is only attached with glue to the sides of the cabinet, and only that much. So if someone lifts the pinball cabinet by the lockdown bar, depending on how heavy it gets, that could actually tear away. So I need to make some bracing underneath. I need to make some bracing underneath the piece of MDF. That I need to make it so that it attaches to the front of the pinball cab. Actually, look at this. Oh, this piece of wood that I've been using to lean on. This is one of the original pieces of the pinball cabinet. It's got front written on it, and that was going to be the front part where the very same piece of wood that I was talking about just now attaches what I want to attach it to. But that was a bad cut. That bit, that was the wrong size, so it got replaced. That's where one of the parts of the plan got modified, actually, from the original intentions. Cool. So I'm just going to go around all of these edges, and then I'll use the bigger brush to black it in. And when I come back, so all these fiddly bits will still be fiddly when I have to do the second coat on them, but there we go. Interpret that as a curve. All of these are just meant to be like proper equal curves. Yeah, when I do the fiddly bits on the second coat, they are still going to be fiddly, but when I do these bigger bits, I can just use a big brush and I don't have to get right to the edge, and they actually go quite quickly for the second coat. Oh, not supported hand again, so let's interpret that as more as a higher line than it was originally. It doesn't matter. Just to flatten that out. That's good. Lovely. So I've I got my nail gun. That's a Christmas present. I am notoriously bad for having my Christmas and birthday present. My birthday is just after Christmas. I'm not going to fish for birthday wishes or anything, but if you want to know when, it's in my Twitter profile. It's an awkward day of the year. It's not Christmas Day. So I'm notoriously bad at having my Christmas and birthday presents before the event. Sometimes months. And I'm alright with that. I don't like surprises. I'm not fussed about the whole, oh, it's going to be amazing opening things that I know that I already have, that I know I'm getting. I just don't like waiting. I'm not a patient person. I'm not a patient person waiting for post. Make me wait for something that I've basically bought myself for months. Just, why would you do that to me? Why? It's not a kind thing to do to a man my age. I don't mind if it's something I genuinely don't know I'm getting. That's fine. That's actually fair enough. But I'm at a stage of my life now where I've got a lot of things. I don't need to be surprised with an Xbox or a PS5. My wife just wouldn't do that now. She's learnt. I've taught her well. Oh, if she ever listens to this back, I'm dead. Right, I can't do this bit in here because I need to dry it. So I'm just going to carry on over here and dry all of that. And I need to get in that corner. That's good. Getting bolder now. The drink is taking effect. So for Christmas, my main present is and was parts for this pinball machine. And I'm ecstatic about that. And I can think to myself on Christmas morning when I haven't got, everybody else is opening presents and I haven't got anything. I'll have stuff, but nothing major, just little stuff. Chocolates and things. No, not chocolate. Can't have chocolate. Yeah, I'll be all right. I'm at peace with the fact that I was able to spend the money on something that not only brought me pleasure, that helped bring pleasure to other people as well. God, that sounds really poncy, doesn't it? What a twat! He's so up himself. I'm trying not to be. It's difficult. Is there anyone watching? The thought of me just saying that to myself when no one's here is actually quite hilarious. Oh, come back line. There we go. Okay. Rob doesn't know what he's missing. Eating tea. Is he back? These bottom lines I find really difficult to just get an even flowing curve. I should just go for it like that, because that works. It's when I try and do it a little piecemeal. Anyway, so I was talking about Christmas presents. So because of big bad COVID this year, all of the family and what happens every year is people ask my wife, what does Lee want for Christmas? And she says, Amazon vouchers. Just get him Amazon vouchers. Because if you buy me something and I haven't chosen it, the chances are I didn't want it. Because if I wanted it, I would have told you. Or because my hobbies are quite obscure and unusual. How would they know what particular nail gun? I wouldn't expect them to know. But family learnt early on that I didn't want a vibrating neck pillow. And I've got socks. They're no good to me. I've got plenty of them. I can buy myself socks. I can afford socks. Don't need to buy socks. Is not a good present. And an Amazon voucher or a voucher that I can spend or cash. I'm not proud of that. But at the same time, I'm practical. I can do amazing things with present money. So yeah, so every year the general thing is get an Amazon voucher. So I end up with an amount of money to spend in the new year. And I always try to buy something cool. So last year I spent quite a lot of my and actually I'm pretty sure that last year I hadn't bought anything huge or a main present up until Christmas Day, up until after Christmas, because I wanted to save my money so I could pool it with everybody else's money to after Christmas, because I knew I wanted to equip myself to make stuff out of wood. That's where all of this has come from. So last year I bought a table saw, and not the one I've got now. Need a drink. A different one that I sold subsequently. Right, let's have a look at the chat. One of those ones. Yeah. The lockdown buy is the bit at the front. Yeah. Snooker chalk as a present. Yes, Jonathan got me a piece of snooker chalk. That was last year, wasn't it? He bought me a piece of. Well, he gave me a piece of snooker chalk. He also got me a very nice gift as well. I seem to remember, which was cash, because he knows me. And he didn't need to. It was. I don't think I reciprocated. So I'm a terrible present buyer. I'm a terrible present giver. I'm a good present spender. Jonathan got me a piece of snooker chalk that cost £17. One piece of chalk. It's fantastic. A year before, okay. Nobody here about chickens, yes. It's good that you chickens are here, though. You're a great journey. Excited for what's ahead, though. Game streams are exciting. Yeah, I will do some game streaming at some point. I haven't been able to do it while mid-project, because literally every waking minute that I have spare, I've been spending on this. I keep forgetting to swap the cameras. I'm saying to honest, if you want to get me something, just get me vouchers or cash. My hobbies are quite obscure. Yes, it's important to make the most. It's respectful to make the most of what other people gift to you. Right, that is so nice. That is really, really nice. Very unusual. But I've lost my brush. Oh, there it is. Let's dry this bit, and then do that edge, and then black it in. It's drying fairly quickly. Anyway, that's mostly dry down the bottom there. sometimes it's difficult to remember which bits are black and which bits are white. And when I first started doing all the ribs and things over here, I had to have the reference image open on the laptop to so that I didn't paint the wrong bit, which would have been bad. It's not so bad just fixing a little bit of it, but yeah. So I don't know if it shows on the camera, but these bits here that I've just painted, they're nice and dry, are kind of grey and streaky. They don't look good. But the bits on the head, let's loosen that so I can, are black. All these bits, this bit isn't, but these bits in here are black. They've been double coated. They don't need any more than that. There's a little bit of streaky there that I'll probably get hit, and a little bit in there. But it pops when that has that definition to it. This lifts off of the surface. It's fantastic. It really does look effective. Cool. Right, so we're doing this bit around here. This is the only bit I need to get now, and it's all awkward angles. I haven't got a pencil line here, but I'm just going to trust the I prefer a pencil line to paint to. This is the hardest bit that I didn't do first. Or don't laugh when you're painting the much less talk. Alright, I'm going to stand. No, I'm not. That's worse. I'm just going to shuffle around this corner so I can get to the right side. The only thing with this is that my head is at such an oblique angle I can't see the curve that I'm painting. Oh, that's bold and not good. That's bad. No, it's not going to be perfect. If I want it perfect, I'd have got it printed on a stencil, and it probably wouldn't have been perfect then. I probably got, especially in here, I'd have got crap and dust underneath the stencil when I went to stick the vinyl on. Or I would have got not a stencil. Yeah. If I'd have sprayed a stencil, it definitely wouldn't have been perfect, because when I've... Oh, that wasn't a good idea. I just bashed... You can't see it. I'm off camera a little bit. I just bashed the brush into... It's a dry brush. It's a wet brush. That's alright. That will touch up nicely. Forgotten what I was saying now. Nope, can't remember. Right. Oh yeah, when you're wearing the lenses, if you don't lift them up, things appear to be closer than they are. It's difficult to navigate your hand without painting the wrong bit. So I'm just roughing this in because I'm gonna have to go over all of this anyway. No, I learned early on. There's no point in trying to finish it in the first coat. In fact, that's something that from my painting and decorating days. You can try and one coat it, but you're gonna come back and do it again. Someone will pull you up on it. So I could go over here and black that in, but I'm gonna have to do all this anyway, so there's no point. Oh, that's too much. I'm trying to keep my brush strokes in kind of random directions as well, because it helps break things up so there's no grain to it. Yeah. Cool. What about... Actually, I'm not going to do any second coating tonight. Let's keep moving along the arm. Let's do this bicep next. And that does mean that I can move you a little bit further away and move me a little bit closer. A big pile of wood under my leg here. No, that's what she said. Jokes, please. Right, I'm going to dry that. This time, going for an hour and a half. Slow old process. I'm going to finish this first coat tonight. Probably not all on stream. If I have to be, another problem that I have, being old, is a bad back. And I'm sitting on a stool with no back support. And that's not something that I really should be doing for very many hours. Birthday next week. Who knows, you might get things. No, don't get me anything. You don't need to get me anything. Do not get me anything. Right. I have enough. I don't need any more. And every time I do this, I always regret not thinning down the paint more. Because it just makes it so much easier to paint with. And you go over it again anyway. It's going to get 2 coats, whatever you do. Even if this was like straight out of the tube neat, it won't cover white. It just can't. So I was I keep getting sidetracked. Christmas present. So with the family, everybody's getting Amazon vouchers this year, or vouchers of some description, or cash in some cases. In my family, my extended family, not just me and the kids and my wife. So everybody's doing Amazon vouchers and going around all over the place. And I've already had mine. And that's what I bought that little nail gun with. That's a present from my mum. My mum got me a nail gun, which is something I wish she'd have done earlier. Imagine that. Imagine 10-year-old me. Who wants to see 10-year-old me? Not with a nail gun. He didn't have one. I found this. I looked for this picture. I thought it was a picture of me with a ZX Spectrum. This was going to go on Commodore blog. I'll put it on this camera because it's clearer and there's better light over here. Here. Oh. I had rattle cans and it did not end well. Yeah, rattle cans are really difficult, Byron. Really difficult. This is 10-year-old me. Look at that little fresh face. Bless him. He's changed. Definitely not that innocent anymore. Yeah, I'm sure there is a picture of me somewhere. Opening a Christmas present that was my ZX Spectrum in 83 or 82. I can't remember when it was. Right, where was I? So after Christmas, I'll have a bit more money from people, in-laws and sister-in-law and sister. Will give me some money for my birthday, and I've got some because of an unusual circumstance, which I won't go into here because it's a personal thing, personal family thing, I get a grant. I get some money granted to me for reasons, genuine reasons, to spend on something that will help improve my mental well-being. It's very difficult to explain, so I'm not going to bother. I'm finding this line really difficult. And I'm going to... I won't say how much it is, or I might have already said. The drinks got closer. I have to decide what to spend it on, and it's a reasonable amount of money as well. It's something that I use. It's something I get every year, and I always use it. I always try to buy. So I've bought VR stuff in the past, and now that's not my main hobby. No longer. Last year I spent that money on tools in here, and I intend to do the same thing this year or next year. But I'm still not decided on what that might be. I quite like a thicknesser or a planer or a combination of the two, so that I can take rough wood and plane it down to a certain thickness. That's what a thicknesser does. Or a planer puts an edge on a square edge on something. That's kind of the next level of carpentry. That would be nice, but there's also other things. One of the things was going to be an air compressor, but I've managed to blag that by giving up crisps, which is not pleasant. Man, I miss crisps. I ate a lot of crisps. I blame my mother. I love my mother. She's still with us, but she has a lot to answer for concerning my diet. She used to work in the hospitality trade and had access to what back then is something, it's not something as I don't think, well, it's still a thing, but I think everybody can use them now. But the trade had it's cash and carry. So she had a cash and carry account, which is basically, I don't know if you don't know, or if you're not from around these parts, cash and carry is where the trade buy their supplies. And so it's often cheaper, but it's in bulk. So she'd buy, instead of going to the supermarket and buying, I don't know, a 6-pack of crisps, she'd come back with a box of 24. And I'm an efficient person. I'm a person that likes efficiency, so I didn't bother putting them in the kitchen or the larder or wherever we kept things like that. They would go straight in my room for immediate consumption. The thing is, I was never a large kid. I was, as you saw in that picture, I was quite frail. I wasn't frail. I wasn't very sporty, but I wasn't fat. And I was one of these people that could eat what they wanted, and I flouted that as well. I soon learnt that people didn't like that, and they would say to me things like, "You won't be able to do that later in life," and I would laugh. That's come back to bite me in the ass, because I can't do that no more. Ooh. And one of the reasons I can't do that no more is because I have a heart condition. It's not a serious one. Well, it can be serious. It's not serious at my time of life. But it is atrial fibrillation. So my heart will race sometimes. I haven't had an episode for a long time though, so fingers crossed. But the last one was kind of scary and changed my life a bit. Oh, that's going to need fixing. So there we go. I'm not going to bother getting the big brush out for this bit here. Just splodge that in there. And let's go get a drink and have a look at the chat. See if there's any of you left. 6, you cow! Still 6 people. Hey Gideon, from France. Bonjour. We are now an island again. Could you do me a favour and get that border open, because I'm a bit worried about supplies for my birthday. I've seen your Gideon. You've also said left messages and comments on videos. I'm pretty sure. I seem to remember. That's really kind of you. I really appreciate that. And I don't know if you're in the Discord channel. If you're not, come and say hi. And if you are also a builder, come and share your work. There's some of the other guys here share their work. We've got a dedicated channel in the Discord for people's projects, and it's the best thing. It's the best thing about making this channel has been building a community. Lewis has helped me do this. I don't know if Lewis hasn't said very much. He's probably working. Lewis has helped me build through social medias. Oh, that's looking better. This brush on the side works a bit better. And yeah, the Discord channel has been part of that, and we have a right old natter about different things. We chatter on about many things. We have a spoilers channel that Lewis has made a spoilers channel in the Discord, because he wanted to talk about the Mandalorian after the last episode aired. He had thoughts and feelings about it. I will not spoil it. I will not talk about it, because I want to swear, but I'm not going to swear, because I am a sweary person, but I try to keep this reasonably swear free. I know in the second live stream we got a bit sweary, but that was because I invited sweary people onto voice chat. But I do not like spoilers. I get really grumpy. If anyone spoils, can you still see what I'm doing? Yes. If anyone spoils something that I want to watch, I find that highly offensive. I don't know about you, but yeah, I get really grumpy. And I've got some family members that I'm not sure if they do it on purpose with me, will happily spoil things. Oh, there's a certain... All right, so this angle here, that flowed all right. That's okay. But this one is... I'm finding I might need to just move my arm around a bit. It's all about the way you pivot your hand. But it's also quite a long, straight bit. So I'm just going to go for it. That's good. That's fine. Don't look too close. Yeah. Looks alright in camera. Looks alright on the tiny little screen over there. We've got my laptop perched up over there, and that's what you're seeing me on, is the laptop camera. And nearly painted on the wrong side of the line then. Yeah, and on that screen I've got two windows open. One is OBS, so I can actually see a live view. So when I'm showing you something, it's really difficult to do it on even a slightly delayed picture. So the YouTube delay is a bit off-putting. Good. And I've also got OBS open just behind that window, so I can see me twice, one slightly delayed, and the chat's in the middle of it. But I can, looking across there through the wrong glasses, this looks great. Up close with a magnifier on, doesn't look so good. But we can fix it later. Something I've learned in life is not to try. It's difficult. It's really difficult. Try not to worry too much about being a perfectionist. And this actually, Jonathan, this is something we've spoken about. Is just do it. Just get it done. Discord, everybody, welcome Gideon. Nice one. Make yourself at home. I got a notification on my watch. Yeah, just get it done. Get it down, whatever you're doing. So, although I'm a failed writer, I've written some short stories and they're easy to finish. But every novel that I've tried to write, I never finished because I got caught up trying to make it perfect as I went. And it's a trap. And it's a trap that is really difficult to avoid. Because your brain is screaming at you, that's not good enough. That line there, you've painted, it's got a wobble in it. Doesn't matter. I could stop, put the brush down, get the white paint out, get the blue paint out, dry this bit, fix it, make it look good. Then I'll have to do it up there again. And it will just slow me down to the point where I'll struggle to finish. So if you go over the line, move on. And as I said, that made a little bump in the line. Cool. I'm just going to give that a quick dry because I need to lean over it. There's another Gideon here. So Gideon, show us, are you a builder? I should check the chat really, shouldn't I? Because he's probably replied to me already. And I can get another drink. Oh God, don't remind me of DHL. I've now suspended all deliveries in and out of the UK. Oh God, yeah. Bartop Pincade, I will join. Hey, yeah, Bartop. Excellent. My favourite form factor for an arcade machine. Show us what you've done. Yeah, I know. Ready Player 2 and on our not safe for work. Did you ever read any of Ronnie's books? Yes, I did. Oh no, not his fiction. Ones he gave me are quite interesting in the whole perfection narrative. I'm sure. One of my AFOs as a kid. What's an AFO? I should know that, shouldn't I? AFO. Oh. lovely. Alright. Decisions. Do the top bit first. I could have done this without. See, I'm doing the old bifocal thing where I'm looking under the lens. I should just put my head down and. So I'd quite like to talk about the next project again. I've had a friend, Ben, who Poker Pater on Twitter, who's an old real life friend of mine. I've known for a long time, and he lives in a town about 30 odd miles away. So it's not the easiest place to get to. We don't get together very often. You know, we've both got family and commitments and stuff. So it's, and I'm terrible. I'm a terrible friend. I'm terrible at keeping in touch. But he kindly got in touch with me, as he has a want to do, because he is a good friend. And he knows that I am one for woodworking. Oh, it's bad. And offered me some scrap MDF from an old sofa that he's getting rid of. He was just going down the dump with it. Or he was, you know, he's not yet. He's not getting rid of it yet. I haven't got it. But it should be enough wood to make a bar top with. And the next project is a bar top. You're in the way. That I'm making out of scrap wood. Now, if you have been in the Discord and you see me and Lewis every day this week, we shout Pask in Discord, because I think probably one of my favourite YouTubers, Pask Makes, is doing. He's a woodworker. He does a thing on his channel called Scrapwood Challenge, which just makes stuff out of scrap wood. But his scrap wood is like hardwood. It's damn it, that's not a good line. I'm gonna have to fix that later. His scrap wood is camphor laurel he uses. He lives in Australia. He's got an unusual accent actually. I thought he was a Brit. I'm not sure if he's like expat or something like that, but he's got a kind of a twang to his accent that maybe he had British parents or something like that. But he's a fantastic woodworker. He makes some amazing things. I ruined that line then. That was good, and then I tried to make it a little bit better, and then I ruined it. So yeah, he makes some amazing things. So every day this week he's making. Oh yeah, so he doesn't just do scrapwood challenges. He does other builds. There's all sorts. He did a chicken coop, one thing of all things, and but the best thing about his channel is his scrapwood challenge. And he's got a little jingle at the beginning, which is, I'm not going to sing it. You have to go to his channel and listen to it, but it's every time it comes on I sing along with it, because I am a big kid. And then every day this week, this is normal, the scrapwood challenges usually come up once in a blue moon, really. Very rare. Once you've binged watched all of them. But this week he's doing 7 in 7 days. He's on day 6 now. And every day this week me and Lewis shout Pask and then go and watch Pask. So yeah, Scrapwood Challenge. My next project's not going to be a Scrapwood Challenge because that'd probably be infringing on his copyright, and I wouldn't disrespect him, but it's going to be very similar. It's not going to be camphor laurel. It's not going to be hardwood. It's going to be MDF. Or it might not be, actually. It might not be MDF. I have got some scrap pine in here, but I want to make an arcade machine as cheap as possible. Oh, I need to fix that line. There we go. As cheap as you can, but still make it cool. It's still got to look good. And the other challenge of this is going to be I'm not to use things like a table saw. I can't use tools that you can't readily buy second hand easily yourself. So table saw you can buy a second hand table saw for 50 quid. I've got my first table saw was 50 quid and that was actually a really good table saw. Kind of regret selling it. Not as good as the one I've got, but it's good in a different way. But yeah, you can buy a second-hand table saw for not too much money. But on the whole, it won't only be terrible and not worth its scrap material value. It'll also be dangerous. And table saws are generally a dangerous thing to start with, even when they are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So I'll be using what I consider the bare minimum. I'm considering, right, so at the moment the bare minimum is a jigsaw and a router and plus hand tools. I am considering no, I have to use a router. Do I have to use a router? Yeah, I have to use a router. I'm not sure. But I want to prove that you can make, because right, so this is something that I always used to see when I first started making things, and I had the bare minimum of tools when I first started making arcade machines. And it was a terrible arcade machine that I first made. I'm not proud of it. It didn't look good. Franking cab. It was horrible. Never finished it. But I want to prove that you can make something that looks cool, works well, made out of scrap with very, very few tools. And my knowledge is, I've not been a woodworker for years and years and years. I've dabbled in a bit of woodworking over years, but not this level of woodworking that I'm doing at the moment. It's only come about over the last let's plug that in. Over the last year. Literally 12 months ago, I really started heavily getting into woodwork. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. And I learned by watching YouTube videos and reading mostly YouTube videos. I'm really looking forward to doing the second coat on these so that they go ultra black. That's when it pops. I love that point. Right, so I'm going to black this in and I'm going to back up so that you can see the whole thing, and then it's 10 o'clock, it's 2 hours. You've watched paint dry for 2 hours. You are amazing people. Thank you so much for validating what I do. And I'd like to say without you I wouldn't do it, but I would. You mean nothing to me. You do. You guys are the best. And I love all the support I get on Twitter, and because it makes a huge difference. Every time I do something on Twitter, I post a new episode or something interesting from the build, and loads of people like and retweet and and comment, that all of that inertia, all of that weight of information and interest really helps other people see. I get loads more follows when people, when there's like been 10 people like something. How we're looking. I think that's looking good. Cool. Right. Chat. They're plastic walking. Oh, yes. See you, Byron. Thank you. Thanks, Gideon. That was fun. I wasn't sure how that was going to go. Let's hang on, let's back it up even more so you can see the whole side there. Fun stuff. Cool. I don't think there's anything else to show you. I think we're there. I can't take this off yet because my microphone's on it. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Keeping me company and keeping me sane. It's an uphill battle. Oh look, this is something that came with my compressor. It's got a shame Byron's gone. Byron would have liked this. So I did, when I got the compressor, I did consider spray painting the whole thing with stencils. I was going to print out the image that I'd made. Oh, it's got a dent in that. The image that I'd made in Inkscape of this side. I was going to print out stencils and cut them out and then spray it. I'm glad I didn't. I quite like the roughness, the uniqueness of my painting, and it only ever comes together when you see the black lines go on, because it just doesn't look right when it's just some random blue stuff. You're cute too, Gideon. We all love you. Thank you for joining the Discord channel, and anybody seeing this. I did the last 2 live streams that I did. Very good sound quality, is that? Yes, mod mic, wireless mod mic. On I've got I've glued a metal plate to the side of my visor, so I can just pop it on there. Yeah, the last 2 live streams I did, I had similar viewing figures over the evening. This probably a few more on the last one, I think, because I was building something. I think that's a bit more interesting for most people. You masochists obviously like watching paint dry. But the views over time, it's quite a few views. It's actually a good boost to the channel, and I did consider doing more live streams, but it's really difficult for me to do a live stream, especially if I try to plan it, and that nearly broke me last time. But this kind of thing where I just do it on a spur of the moment, and I'm not worried about, I'm not desperately worried about how many people watch things. That's fine. I enough people watch it. More people than I ever expected watch all of the videos. But like I was saying earlier, the next live stream, I'm going to continue painting this over the next few nights, and something I didn't do tonight was, which I did on the first part, which was a hyperlapse video, which I'll make into the next episode, along with the building of that interior box that I did for the electrical separation. So that will be included in the next episode. But then when I've finished doing the artwork and it's all painted, and I've still got to paint the glass, the back side of the glass, to make a false bezel. to hide all the insides of the machine. When I've finished doing all of that, I'm going to do a final live stream where I put it all back together on stream. And currently it's living in boxes. Can you see down? It's just past that tripod. There's a pile of boxes, some of them plastic and some of them not, with all of the insides, and the glass is propped up down here. The screens are leant up against the wall over there somewhere. Things get knocked about in here quite often. So there's a chance that when I do put it all together live on stream, it might not work. That'll be funny, won't it? We'll see. But yeah, so we'll put it together, fire it up, and play some games. It won't be perfect because there's still a lot of configuration I need to do in the software. But it basically works at the moment. Some of the sound isn't perfect, but that won't affect you because I'm pretty sure most of that sound is like the force feedback stuff, and you'll still see. It'll have to be a camera over my shoulder looking at the table, but just a couple of games of pinball at the end just to see how it plays. It does play great because I've already played it. It will be exciting. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I will see you. In the next episode, and then in the next live stream, and on Twitter and Discord. But yeah, so people that are gonna watch this, future people, future viewers, hear me. Come and join us on Discord. We're building. There's a nice group of people there, and we're very friendly. As long as you're not an arse. Come and say hi. Come and show us what you're building. Bye, Satire. Thanks, mate. Bye, Gideon. Bye, Jonathan. And various lurkers. Goodbye.